and welcome to Polymer Clay TV. I'm Elisa, and I have some silk screens that I wanted to share a different technique with you today on. And I am going to be using these gilding polishes, which you've probably seen by now in our shop. They have been really popular and they sell out pretty fast, but we just got some in. This is the purple color. Gorgeous. These are all metallics. We have purple, we have graphite, which is a silvery black. We have a teal color, which is gorgeous. The purple and teal, of course, are my colors. We have a silver. There's the silver. And we have a fern green, which is like a medium green. And then there's one that's called pearl. And pearl, one of the cool things about pearl is you can change the colors on that. So you could add alcohol inks to it and get some really nice colors. You could add some acrylic paint. So that's another topic for another day. But I just wanted to tell you the reason why I'm using these polishes today on this. I'm going to do a little technique that it doesn't work very great with regular paint because, or I should say the little, liquidy paint, because with liquidy paint it likes to kind of go all over the place. However, these gilding polishes are really thick. Like I can turn it upside down and it's not coming out of the container. They're more like a mousse consistency. They're not like the Inca Gold. They're not like the Deco Art ones. They're completely different than anything out there. And because of their consistency, this technique works really well for them. And the technique I'm talking about is kind of like a silk screen. I'm calling it a Silkscreen Palette technique, because basically you can take your palette of paint and put it where you want it. It may not end up exactly where you want it, but you can at least kind of judge the areas where you want certain colors. For instance, on here, you can see that I did the blues in between these bigger designs. And so you can kind of really place the paint in more of a place where you want it and get a really cool look and different from regular silk screening. You're still going to do a similar technique. However, by using the gilding polish, you can achieve this kind of look easier. And the thing about gilding polish is it has a texture too. It feels almost a little gritty on top. Actually does feel gritty, so just to give you some idea. So anyways, I've conditioned some clay. These are just some silk screens I have. I'm going to be using the Zania Zinnia right now, and I'm using Primo brand, and it's called Cadmium Yellow Hue. And I wanted to use that color because I think it'll show up really nice on camera. But you can certainly use any color you want. And I think I'll use a mixture of colors here from the gilding polish. And I'm going to need a palette knife or an old butter knife, whatever you have that can help impart the paint or the gilding polish onto it. So first you want to start obviously by conditioning your clay and rolling it out to whatever thickness you want to work with. It depends on what you're going to do with this once it's done. As you can see, it's just the yellow clay rolled out to the second thickest setting on my pasta machine. Now, originally we were telling you to silk screen with the orange side of our brand new silk screens face up. However, we've since discovered that we get a better screen print with them face down. So if you're using our silk screens, you want the orange to go face down touching the clay. Super important because you'll get much better detail than the other way we found. So I wanted to share that with you. But let's get started here. I'm going to open up a few colors that I'm going to be using, and you don't have to worry about these so much. Like, you don't have to cap them the second after you use them because, like I said, they're not watery. And you of course want to have paper towels handy when you're working with this stuff because it does get messy. So, just choose whatever you're going to use, a palette knife, or actually, if you're going to use multiple colors, you might want to have a couple things handy. That way you don't have to keep switching it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start and get a little on my palette knife. And let's make that like the center here of this flower. Okay? And another thing I have also, which I forgot to tell you, is my squeegee. This is a rubber tip squeegee. You can use an old credit card. You can use a plastic gift card or anything that works for you to silkscreen. But that's my favorite tool. And I like it because it's stiff and it helps pull the paint across really well. I think for now that's a little, well, there's a cute little, well, that's not in the clay, so I'm not going to use that. So let me set that aside. And now I'm going to kind of come back with some blue. And again, just scooping it up. And I'm using my knife for this. And I'm not trying to get it in exactly where I want it, you know, because it's not going to, you'll see, it just gives it a nice, overall nice look if you can paint it on where you want it. You know, it's just a really nice look. That's all I can say. So if you find that the area is too small, you could even use a paintbrush. You don't have to use something like this, but I find that by using this, I get a little thicker coverage, which is what I want. So you're never going to get it in exactly the area because you're going to be pulling this across. So things don't end up exactly where you want them, but let me see, you can get a really cool look. You'll see. So that's that. And I guess I'll show you with a paintbrush on this one so you can see that you could use a paintbrush. And this is the silver. Let's kind of go around this swirly thing right here. I don't know how well silver will show up on this yellow clay, but we'll give it a shot and kind of paint it wherever we want it. And you see the difference here with the paintbrush? It's like you can't really get it as thick as I could with the palette, which is, you want the paint to be a little thick. You don't want it to be super, you know, thin on it because you want to still be able to pull it across. So let's do the green, and that should finish it up. Now see, with regular paint, you don't have the kind of working time that I'm using here. You know, they dry too fast. And that's another reason for this gilding polish. And you don't have to use all that I'm using. It's just me, I'm like that. I tend to make sure I have enough, you know. But just kind of put it where you think you want it. Let's go down here a little with it. And I think that's about good right there. So let me just move this out of the way. And we'll pull it across so you can see. Alrighty. This is pretty much the same technique that you would do with regular silkscreen, but you're kind of, like I said, you're placing your colors in more of a, you know, organized fashion. So just like you would do with silkscreen, you're going to pull it across. However, we don't want to do this a bunch of times. We just want to do it like once or twice, because then you can muddy the colors some. So just go straight across, straight across, straight across. And if you missed anything, you can kind of work it back in. And that's all there is to it. So let's pull it on back so you can see that you can get multicolors in the one. Okay, so I didn't pick colors that you can probably see as good. However, you can see that the blues here, the purples are in the center, and that is what the silver looks like. It's a little hard to see on the yellow, but let me hold it up for you a little closer to the camera so you can see. The greens and the blue looks similar on the yellow clay. I didn't think clearly on that one. I probably should have used more purple. However, you get the gist of it, that you can highlight areas with different colors and create a really, really cool look. And here's the other one that I had showed you earlier. You see how this one is, the blues here? And there's really, I mean, the sky is the limit with this, because you can just come up with a whole bunch of, you know, combos of colors and really get different looks. So I wanted to show you a few of the other ones that I've made with this technique that I did actually use some paint on as well. The thing is, with the paint, you don't have as much of a control. As you kind of see, it kind of goes where, you know, where it ends up. This is more of a deliberate look, whereas this is kind of more, you know, you kind of model it together. So you could use paint, but it has to be a paint that's a more thick-bodied paint. It can't be those cheap paints that run all over the place. You're not going to get your best, you know, look with that. So If you have any of the thicker paints, those work great. If you have any of the gilding polishes, they work great. You know, just experiment with what you have. So these are just ones that I cut out of the sheet. So I'll show you here on the one we just did, how you can just use cookie cutters and cut out random shapes and really make cute stuff. You know, once you have your design, let's kind of put this on the side here. And so these are actually our shield cutters. So we have started to make our own line of cookie cutters because the cutters that are on the market now are huge. And I don't want a 3-inch pendant, you know, and most people don't. So we decided to make them in jewelry sizes. So what you're seeing here is less than 2 inches, I think. All of them, all of our cutters are less than 2 inches. So you can cut them out, you can add things to them, you know, you can layer them, whatever it is you want to do once you make your design. Let's see, maybe I could give you a little sneak peek here of things to come, tease you a little. Actually, this is coming down the pike. We have this really, really cool set here. And there's three in every set. Okay, here's the other one. So you have this really cool one, which is this one. You have this Byzantine kind of looking thing, and that's the name of this set, is Byzantine. And actually, I don't have any to show you right here, but I'll post a picture on the website so that you can see what that looks. Actually, you know what? What the heck? Let me show you. Right here. Let's just cut one out, and you know, you can kind of decide where you want, you know, and line it up. Oops, I moved that. That wasn't smart. Let's go over here just in case I missed it. Alrighty, so you can get to see what these look like, because actually these are on the way. This set here, this Byzantine set, is on the way to my house now from Kira, because they're made up in Maryland, and she sends them down to me. So the cool thing about these cutters is you can poke your finger through there and get it out real easy. But this is a little delicate, this particular design. And let me move this so you can see. And so you can create this kind of really cool look there. Of course, you would clean up your edges if there's like a little piece or whatever. But they come out of the cutters really nice. I give it a little wiggle, and the edges come out really nice. And you know, you just pick away anything that's extra. And that's all there is to it. And you can do all kinds of fun things. So I hope you'll give this technique a try. You know, try it with gilding polish, try it with a thicker bodied acrylic paint, and see what happens. And I'd love for you to share what you make. If you download our free app, which is available on iTunes and in the Android market, there's a little button in there that says Clayfee. And so if you send us a picture of your work, if you want to put yourself in the picture, that's wonderful too. You'll be entered to win a prize, and it'll be one of our designed products, like our silk screens or our cutters or something like that we've designed, and then we'll share with you. We'll pick one winner every single month to win some goodies. So definitely send us some clay fees. We'd love to see what you're making. Even if it's not something that we've shown on the show, we want to always see what you guys make. And don't forget, you can still sign up for Polymer Clay Adventure Virtual Retreat. It's a year-long event, and you get 24 classes for only $99. So that's a real bargain. And everybody's having a really good time and sharing lots of pictures. We have a Facebook group and stuff. So, oh, and speaking of Facebook groups, we have a free Facebook group called Polymer Clay Tribe that is a great place to learn things and share things. And a big, big, big announcement. We are getting ready on March 1st to launch this incredible thing called Polymer Clay Universe. And it's going to be a all-encompassing kind of thing for polymer clay. There'll be supplier lists, there'll be guild lists, there'll be events, there'll be updated things from several. We have Polymer Chef, which is Suzanne Ivester, who's going to do a column with us every month. We have Shannon Tabor, who's going to do something on jewelry or the business of jewelry, which is awesome. We have Tony Ransfield, who's going to do things on caning and more. And there's one other person, let me think. My brain has just gone blank on that one. I'll let you know. Sorry, my brain went blank on the fourth person, but we have 4 people, and Kira and I are putting together like a little magazine with all the different things, and it's just going to be fabulous. It's just going to be fabulous, and you guys, I think we'll... Oh, Cindy Holt. How could I forget Cindy Holt? She's such a personality. She's wonderful, and you guys will really enjoy. She's going to do like an artist spotlight, which is so fun, and so you'll get to meet other artists. And Cindy, I don't know if you know this, is the ambassador for Sculpey. So she goes around all over to all kinds of events. She was just at the Clayathon, so that was super fun. And we were actually Skyped while she was there and got to see kind of the things that are going on in the background. But it was neat. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you can definitely access that through the free app that we have as well. So definitely download that. Definitely check out what we have going on, and you can find our products in the shop at createalong.com. So have fun silk screening, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.